What's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan. Thank you for joining me in this video. I'm going to go over some pre-wedding photo shoots, engagement shoots, whatever you want to call them, with some cool couples that I've taken over some time. And we'll just go over some thought process, techniques, what to watch out for, and have fun with this video. So a lot of these shots were taken from my ready to post folder. What that means is the resolution is dumbed down a lot for the web, for the internet. So the quality is not, full quality, but you get an idea of what I'm talking about. I'll show you some examples and we'll go on with that. So the first example is that you're seeing on the screen. I'm using a off-camera flash here, and two flashes, one behind the couple. I remember when the shoot I was using a 7200 Nikon, and these shots were taken with Nikon cameras, Nikon lenses, but that's really not the point of this video. Doesn't really matter what you're shooting. It could be Canon, Sony, Fuji. The tips and some ideas for you to go out and shoot pre-wedding photo shoots. Again, doesn't matter what camera you'll be using. You can use any camera, but I'll be using Nikon cameras in these shots. I've used Nikon cameras in these shots with Nikon lenses. So this particular photo, I'm using a 7200 2.8 VR2 lens. I have an off-camera flash with the pocket wizard. I think it's an SB800 behind the couple with the little stand behind the couple, and I have a fill light on my camera just to fill in a little bit in front of the couple, and both flashes are set in manual mode so I can control the amount of light that I'm using in capturing this image. So I have the off-camera flash behind the couple here and a fill light in front, 7200, back away from the subject, and at 2.8 in pitch dark. It's nighttime, and I want to generate some isolation from the background to the couple here, and so I'm quite a distance away, probably at about 100, I'd say about 180 to 190 millimeters at 2.8 here with the pocket wizards. And notice that I've positioned the couple in between these two lights in the back, because you do not want those light posts to come out of someone's head or in the background, in the backdrop. It'll be distracting. So I positioned the couple on purpose between those two light posts in the back. Now, another thing to look at when you're shooting images like this, pay attention to the couple's faces, their positions of the hand. Make sure they're not too distracting. They're positioned naturally and nicely. And pay attention to the couple's faces, their expressions or their eyes. For example, if the girl or the lady is looking at the gentleman and the gentleman is closing his eyes, what you want to do is pay attention to what they're doing. You want to make them you want to do it so that it's similar to what the other person is doing, and just pay attention to their expressions. If the one subject is smiling more and the other subject is a little serious, you want to kind of make it so that it flows better in the photograph. So off-camera flash using a fill light, pay attention to the position, and pitch dark here, and take the photo. Same concept here, but now I have the 24-70 on. I want a little bit more of the background in the image. Now we're getting into the lights of this bridge. As you can see, it's nighttime, and you can see the street lights on the road. Using the same technique, off-camera flash in the back, and just taking the same shot, but a little more, a wider shot, and a little bit of a different perspective than before. In this shot, again, nighttime, different couple, same concept, off-camera flash, again with a Speedlight SB800, and a little bit of a different image. This image, I positioned the female right in the middle of the pillars, and having the man on the side here holding her hand, looking at each other, and setting the flashes, again, manual power, so I can control the power of the flash. I really like how the flash is casting a shadow in the foreground, and the glow of the hair and the side of the gentleman's face looking at his fiance. So, and I really like the ambient light here. This was taken at the LACMA Museum, I think, of Fine Arts, at night. Next image, same location, different couple. Now, if it starts raining, and don't get discouraged, use that rain to your advantage. Be prepared, look at the forecast. If you're gonna have some rain and you can't reschedule the shoot, take this and use it to your advantage. How can you use the rain to add to your photography? This particular image, we knew it was gonna rain. The couple had an umbrella. The couple looking at each other, and you see the rain there, and the raindrops. I'm shooting behind a window, and you can see the rain on the glass in the foreground, and the focus is right on the couple, and just taking a dramatic picture. Yeah, I did some post-processing here with them looking at each other, and a little bit of a Dutch angle. Not a big fan of Dutch angles, but sometimes it works. Sometimes it looks good. So again, not a big fan of the Dutch angle. What Dutch angle means is when you kind of tilt the camera and the horizons are not straight. I tend to stay away from that sometimes, but sometimes it works. So using the elements to your advantage makes for a different look, and sometimes can come out great. Look at the reflections on the floor with the wet concrete, the clouds on top, and don't get discouraged, guys. When it rains, be prepared, but use those elements in your photography for your advantage. Being out of sight and out of mind. This great couple the shot was taken in downtown Los Angeles. The bus stops. There's no photographer here in the scene. I don't make myself seen, but I want to capture some natural effects from the background, from people maybe walking by. The plan here was for them to be just hanging out on the sidewalk in downtown LA, talking to each other, just sharing a moment, kissing. And the original plan was for me to capture some people in the background walking, but this bus stops. This public bus stops. Again, I'm out of sight, out of mind. There's no photographer here. I'm probably with the 7200. And the look on this bus driver's face, just looking at him kissing. This is classic, a real moment. Sure, I orchestrated what the couple should or could do. They did it on the right time. And the reaction for the bus driver, it's like, what are these guys doing? And I snapped a photo. Guys, be creative in your shoots. Posing is fun, but sometimes these fun, cool shots you can draw up in your mind. And if it works, sometimes it's not going to work. Sometimes you won't get any action in the background. But this was a great moment that I captured. Using the elements in your photography makes for an interesting photograph. Now, how can you make the location special for you as a photographer and for the client, for the couple? How can you make the location mean something? This couple was a huge Lakers fan, and I suggested, how about Staples Center? We went down to Staples Center. This is the same couple as the image with the bus driver. Not too far away with Staples Center. I knew that they loved the Lakers. We went down. There's Magic statue there, and got on the ground and shot this image, wide angle lens, and no flash here, just using natural light, using the location to spruce up your image, to make it extra special for your couple, for your photography. Staples Center is an iconic location. Many championships have been won here. Magic, Kobe, Shaq, they love the team. Let's incorporate some of that in the photos, because it'll mean something to them. Always ask your couple, what do you like? What are you into? Again, an example of a location. This couple, the interview process, when I was talking to them prior to booking this photo shoot, I knew that they love to shop, and went to the mall, the shoe department. She loves shoes, and we took this image in the shoe department at Nordstrom's. So yeah, you get creative, guys, in your photos. Get creative in your photos, and you can do something special. Sure, again, posing is nice location, but how can you implement something special for them? And I think this image right here does just that. In this photograph, the gentleman was a pilot. We're at the airport on the runway, and I didn't have a tripod. I needed to take a photograph at night to capture all the light and the colors in this image. So what I did was, on the floor, the camera tilted up, a slow shutter speed, and used the floor as a tripod, and took this image. I knew it was dark. I knew I needed a tripod for long exposure, and I didn't have one, so I got creative. I took the camera down on the floor and captured I wanted that image. I wanted to capture the greens, the reds at night, and the backdrop there with the light hitting the runway, and came out pretty good. Not bad for a photo without a tripod. The issue was, how do I get some light in their faces and their body? How do I generate that light in the front? Well, what I did was, I had an LED on the side. I put it on a little light stand, shined the video light LED on them, and voila, some light on the faces and the foreground. Sometimes you don't have light. You're taking pictures during the day. You don't have a flash or whatever the case. However, it's dark and you want to use whatever light source you have available to you to make a dramatic picture look, to capture that dramatic look. Here I'm using the light on the side of this church, using it. I have the gentleman here at an angle where we can light, using that available light to light one side of the face and the other side dark. And I like the look because it adds drama to the photograph. She's in the backdrop here, and just adds dimension, and you can really take advantage. Pay attention to what light source you have. If it gets dark and you don't have artificial light, you can use lights source from walls, street lights, and to your advantage. So that's what I did right here. Motion adds some element to the photograph that might be needed. Newspapers on the floor, pick them up, tell them to toss it, and we got this really cool, fun image of the previous couple that I showed. Just things like this. You could think about things like this when you're shooting out and about. Use props, use whatever you have available to create imagery that stands out, that's different, that's fun, and you might like it, you might not, you might delete it, it might work. So try different things. So motion, yeah, guys, back away from the couple, let them have fun, let them be. And here with the 7200, motion creates emotion. So, you're done with your traditional portraits, swing for the fences, like I always say, back away from the action. Also, again, guys, pay attention to the faces, because it's very important. If the faces are not what you're after, like if she's covering his face, or the hands are not right, or something's not right with the photograph, that photograph is going to be you're going to use the photograph. So take a few pictures, and take a few, don't just take one, because that one image can be the one that, especially if the guy is like carrying the girl, or you want to put it on like 5 or 10 frames per second and just, shoot and have fun with that. Sunsets and silhouettes. Okay. When I do a silhouette, usually of a couple looking at each other, sometimes when they go for a kiss, the silhouette does not look good. So what I do is I separate them out a little bit. And as far as getting all the detail from the sky, try to shoot at a high shutter speed and get all that detail in the clouds, in the sky. You don't want to overexpose the background here. They're nice and dark, and it's a nice little silhouette of them looking at each other. I really like the way this one came out. It's like an artistic, artsy kind of picture. Angles make all the difference in the world. This shot right here, I'm shooting at a lower level, probably on the ground, and I have that light, that speck of light here in the back, that sun peeking in from the window. I'm looking at each other, and there's a serious moment here. Do a combination of things, posing and motion, and lastly, I'd like to just again back away from the couple and let them interact with each other. Here they're just sharing a moment with each other. I'm not telling them how to be. This is a 100% natural image. This is at the Huntington Library and Gardens, a beautiful spot for pictures. And I'm just observing and taking candid shots and just capturing the moments here. I don't know what they're talking about. They might be talking about the photographer. Nah, but it's a good image, emotion, and the backdrop, the colors. And just to show you what a beautiful spot this is, well, there it is. Look at this location, Huntington Library in San Marino. Now here's an example of bringing all those elements that I talked to you earlier and bringing it into one photo. We got action, motion, emotion. We have a prop that means something to the couple. In this case, an exotic car. He was into these type of cars, so we brought that into the mix. And the backdrop. Pay attention to the backdrop. So all these elements come into play in these types of photographs. Always watch out your composition. These types of photos, make sure your lines are straight, cars on the road, and don't chop off the feet. You can, and then things like this, creative things like this where you chop off the heads and you see them holding hands with the car. Looks like an ad campaign or something. Interesting. This is a super wide. I think I'm using the 14-30 Z6 here. Compose your shot. Find little angles and cracks. Here I'm using the rocks in between the foreground. I have them sharp in focus in between these two rocks. And in the background you got some more. Go up close, capture the moments. Backlight. Pay attention to the sun, where it's the direction of the sun. We got this golden light coming in, hitting her hair, and just, producing this glow. Let's talk about variety. Action shots, kissing, looking at each other, running, holding each other's hands, sharing moments. Have a variety, and also take pictures with the couple looking directly at the camera. Just a simple portrait of the couple. Using a beautiful background and, something that they can share and have a variety to choose from. And solo shots too, with each subject. You know, you never know when they'll use it. You're there, why not take some solo portraits? And once you've done all that, think outside the box. You know, I love capturing emotion, doing crazy poses, using crazy ideas. Right here, the license plate of this Mercedes, and then this next image, this pose, a crazy different type of pose with her hair, and just look at the look at her eyes just looking straight at the camera. Crazy poses like this one. Try different things, and you never know what type of surprises might come your way. This one, this is 100% natural reaction. This pelican just surprised us all. If you like this video, do me a favor, guys. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do so. Give me a subscription. Hit the like button. It motivates me to produce more content like this and more videos in the future. Thank you very much. Go out there, have fun, and rock and roll. Hey, what's good, guys? Vahagan here from Vahagraphy. If you like more rockin' videos like this one, go ahead and check the videos on the screen and subscribe to this channel, Vahagraphy. Rock and roll.